Hey guys, welcome. I know it's been a little while, but yeah, went to the dentist. They said I had a tooth that needed to come out. The wisdom tooth on this side. Um, Never knew about my roots. Kind of pinched around the bone like that. Yeah, broke the bone getting it out. So I was out of it for a couple of days, living off extra strength Tylenol. Um, They gave me some T2s and T3s and all that, and I was going, you know what? With the work I do and all the people I deal with that have so many significant addiction issues, I stuck with extra strength. And you know what? They cut it. So we're in a very important part of this thing, and that part is setting the clearance for the flywheel against the thrust bearing. And so I'll be showing a little bit how to do that. Now, there's lots of great videos out there that tell you how to do it in a really good way. I'll just tell you how I did it my way. So hopefully you enjoy this. Okay, I've got, I pushed the thing all the way in, and then I pulled it out again. And I measured the gap that was between there and there. And I used my feeler gauge to measure that. And the gap that was in between there and there, 12 and 24. Now I don't have anything that goes more than 24. So I had to double up, but it works just fine. Go 12 and 24. The clearance I need behind here is supposed to be 4 thousandths of an inch. And so 36 minus 4 means I need 32 thousandths of an inch worth of shims. And that's what these are here. These are the shims that I need to come together and come up with 32 thousandths of an inch. So I've done a bunch of work on this already, and we can see that there. It's 32 thousandths of an inch. And so I have it set on, right on, so when I pull this off, I will, oh yeah, and if you want to see this really cool device, why I was using a feeler gauge and all that, that part of it's a magnet that's all supposed to hook on. There's supposed to be like a micrometer or a dial micrometer on there or something like that. The dial micrometer broke, and so I used a nail and feeler gauges. So like I said, I'm basically broke, and so my buddy had this, but it was broken. I said, hey, that's good enough for me. So I used this and feeler gauges, and so I was pretty happy about that. It seemed to work just fine. We'll see how this goes. Got the flywheel off. You can see it took a little bit of prying to get that off. Okay, I bumped this off and forgot to turn it back on, but if you look in there, I don't know if you can see that in there I have my shims that I had made. And I've got the gasket in there now. So what I need to do is put some oil on those shims and put some oil around this gasket. It's really important to put oil around the seal, because if you don't put oil around there, it can burn up on startup. I mean, it's made to be having oil on and keeping oil out. But if you don't do it, and you can have either use a really light grade grease. And I tend to like to use grease before oil, or else use oil, a motor oil of some kind. So yeah, it's just put that on there and then hammer it back together. And don't forget there's a rubber O-ring that goes in there. It's graphite impregnated. Made my fingers a little black putting it on. And to be honest, I don't even know why it's there.
So I kind of like to do that.
Mostly because I want to make sure that as I want to go to hammer this on, it's going to be hammering straight and that one of the dowels are not pinched and making it go cockeyed. So I got that, I got the flywheel on, I got the pressure plate on, I got the flex wheel, all the clutch assembly is all put together. I'm really quite happy with how that all went. It's looking good. It's worked real well. I had some significant adjusting to do. I'm pretty new at this YouTube stuff, so I should have showed you some of my mistakes. I had a new pressure plate that wasn't going to work, and so I ended up having to put the old pressure plate on. I took it on a steel wheel, shined it up real good. I had a new flex wheel or the actual clutch pad on the inside and a new flywheel. So it looks good. It went all together. It's looking just the way I would want it to look, and so I'm pretty happy with that. I'll see what I can do about getting that pressure plate back and getting a few dollars out of it. So as I was working on that, now the next thing is I got to prep the area to get ready to put the motor in. And I don't know if I showed on here before, but the rear or the input shaft on the transmission the seal there was leaking. So I took it out, and the way I took it out, I had to take a screwdriver and literally just drive it into the very edge and drive it out. It was really quite messy. It was a lot of shrapnel, but it came out eventually, and I got it out of there, and so I got a new seal. And so I'm going to just drive that in and get preparation. Getting pretty excited. It's not going to be long, and I'll be getting ready to slide this motor in. So check it out. So I've got to get the seal back in place. One of the things I'm discovering more and more about trying to video some of this, one of the hardest jobs of this whole thing is actually getting video and actually having the video in a place where, or the camera in a place where it doesn't fall down. That's been for me quite a trick. I've had to go through some fairly significant gymnastics to get that to work, but that seems to be working a little bit better now. I'm not sure where all those wires are supposed to go, but I will tidy them up with some zip ties afterwards. Now I've got to get this back into place if I can. Except it's a little bit bigger, but if I hit it right about there, maybe that'll help get it in. I have a fish whacker wooden mallet I've been trying to use when I don't want to damage things too badly.
I don't know if that's going or not, but it's going in. It's going in, but it's not going to sink down there very well. I've started, I'm pretty happy with that. So,
Okay, I declare that in. I had this part off and washed up.
let's put this back together again. the rest of the shrapnel from the other one. That's not a 10.
And now the throw bearing. Got the throw bearing on. I realized I bumped a camera over about partway through and didn't catch it, so you'd have had a real nice view of the tail light, but not really had anything to see there. But I am a rookie at it, but I just was thrilled to have that together. So the next stage of the game is actually putting the motor in. I'm excited about that. It seems like it's taken an awful long time. It's kind of what happens when you work on projects just when you spare time, and with I work in Prince Albert part of my time and on the road a lot of my time. It just doesn't go as quickly as I had hoped. But yeah, with that tooth extraction and getting everything else done, I was pretty happy to have it to where we are. You know, it just preparation is everything. If you want to see a job well done, prepare, 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 and have everything put together, and a little bit of luck doesn't hurt either. So I'm pretty happy with where I'm at, and I'm looking forward to the next putting in of the motor, and I anticipate it will probably every single standard I've ever put in has been nothing but a headache. Lining up even though I had a special tool that lined up the clutch and all that assembly really true and right. The other thing that I know in this is that clutch assemblies, pushing it onto the input shaft on the transmission, getting the bolts to line up, and all of those things, a big headache. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, stay tuned. Again, like, subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Have yourself a good day. Bye now.